Why do two people walk away from the exact same ruined relationship, both entirely convinced that the other person is the toxic one? Take the clinical dyad of Alex and Jamie. Jamie operates from a baseline of secure attachment, moving through the world with emotional warmth. Alex is rigid, emotionally stoic, and runs purely on survival instincts. Their dynamic is dominated by a specific pattern. Alex consistently interacts with Jamie through harsh criticism, brutal honesty, and a steady current of emotional withholding. Alex has no intention of being cruel. In Alex's mind, this harshness is a loving gift, a necessary armor applied to toughen Jamie up for an unforgiving world. When one partner's definition of care looks indistinguishable from cruelty, the relationship turns into a psychological time bomb. Jamie, operating from a healthy psychological baseline, identifies Alex's brutal honesty as cruelty and recognizes the emotional stoicism as neglect. Jamie eventually sets a boundary, explicitly refusing the harsh treatment and requesting basic emotional tenderness. This diagram shows what researchers call semantic inversion. Semantic inversion is a cognitive glitch where positive emotional requests are translated into threats. When Jamie inputs a request for tenderness, Alex's processor instantly flips the data, flagging it as weakness and a sign of danger. Alex's hostility toward this healthy boundary signals a catastrophic systemic crash in how love is understood. To understand this crash, we have to trace the wiring back to Alex's childhood. Young Alex grew up in a harsh, authoritarian environment. Affection was strictly conditional, and constant criticism was the primary language of the home. This branching logic tree illustrates a trauma response algorithm. A trauma response algorithm is a set of learned behaviors a child adopts to navigate a hostile environment. To survive, Alex had to encode harshness as the only valid form of preparation. The child's brain rationalized the environment with a heartbreaking equation: pain equals love. That definition locks into place as Alex's primary expression of care. In the present day, Alex is simply executing the only survival code they were ever taught. When Jamie asks for tenderness and rejects Alex's tough love, it creates a massive psychological threat. If Jamie is right about what healthy love looks like, Alex faces a crushing cognitive load. Accepting Jamie's boundary requires Alex to admit that their parents didn't prepare them for the world. They abused them. This scale demonstrates the legacy glitch. The legacy glitch is a defense mechanism where the brain shortcuts unbearable pain by projecting the problem outward. Faced with the weight of confronting their parents' abuse, Alex's brain takes the path of least resistance. It violently reframes Jamie as too sensitive and toxic. Applying the toxic label to a healthy partner protects the myth that Alex's childhood suffering was necessary and made them strong. Following the breakup, Alex wins the argument internally by successfully categorizing Jamie as the failure. Alex rewrites the history of the relationship, narrating its end as Jamie's inability to handle the real world. By taking on the role of the aggressor and reenacting the abuse, Alex validates their own past suffering. Alex is now entirely safe from the painful truth of their trauma and isolated behind it, ensuring the toxic script survives to ruin the next relationship. This dynamic persists across society at large, fueling the endurance of authoritarian care models. This is ontological divergence, a fundamental disagreement on what constitutes reality. We see it when gentle parenting or emotional intelligence are dismissed as coddling. Societal mockery of empathy is a desperate collective attempt by legacy survivalists to validate their own inherited trauma. Healing from this legacy does not mean being tough enough to endure more cruelty. True strength is having the courage to face the pain you were handed, refuse to project it, and decide the abusive script ends with you.